your wonderful wife did something really, really special, and quite interesting. She saw an opportunity for something. Have you ever heard the expression "apple of your eye"? Yeah, you know what it means?
Like who you admire, right?
Yeah. So, that's kind of it in a nutshell. It's this. Who is that person that means the most to you? Who's that person that you admire? Who's that person that has done something great for you? That maybe if it wasn't for them believing you or being by your side, you couldn't do great and wonderful things and stuff like that. There's one more person that we're waiting to join us that also wants to help celebrate this in a second, and they're running a little bit late. But look, there are people who sign up for fighting for something they believe in. My father was a wing commander in the Air Force. He knew that there might be a time where he had to go and fight for freedom and stuff like that. Marines and Army and stuff like that. What little I've learned about being on this planet for 52 years is life is about relationships. Life is about commitments and honoring those commitments and stuff like that, no matter what. In good times and bad times and stuff like that. So I know earlier this year you were in an automobile accident. Because nobody knows what was going through your mind, what I'd like you to do is just kind of start, what was happening when you were in the car, and then kind of take us through what was going through your mind and everything that happened. So if you can kind of start at the beginning and tell us what happened, tell us that story, because there's a lot of people that are going to get inspiration from your story and your cool beard. But yeah. So, Beard Club of America. All right. So tell us that night. Tell us what was going on, and kind of walk us through that night. And tell us about that night.
Well, I had let her drive home.
Okay.
Because we had gone out for like a mom and dad's kind of night out. So
yeah.
I had let her drive home because I had we'd gone out dancing. I had a little bit too much to drink, so I let her drive, and then she never drives us. I drive us everywhere, so she's not used to it. So we were coming back real late, and we live out in the country, and the ditches are like 6-foot ditches on each side of the road. So she came over this bridge, and when she hit the bridge, she hit a little dip, and she started going this way, and then she overcorrected to the right and slammed into the ditch at 80.
Oh my God.
So she hit it at 80, and then it ramped us up, and we flew probably about, 80 yards or something like that, until it hit the second time. I got ejected either the first impact or the second impact through the big, it was a Cadillac SUV, so it was the big moonroof.
Oh my God.
So I didn't have my seatbelt on, and I went through that with my elbow.
Wear your seatbelt, everybody.
Yes.
Wear your seatbelt. Yeah.
Lesson learned.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah, and I went through that with my elbow, and it pretty much chopped this off right there, and it left the bone, but it took all the meat off.
Yeah.
And so I didn't remember any of that, but I woke up in the field, and this is the only thing that I really remember.
Yeah,
I woke up in the field, and I could tell that I couldn't move my arm, and my neck was broken, so I couldn't.
Oh, jeez.
I couldn't move my neck, and then I had broken sternum, broken back, and all I could look up and I could see the car, I guess. So I saw the flashing, and so I started just screaming for her, because I thought I was gonna die. So I was like, I don't want to die without my wife. I at least would rather be, with her, holding her or something. You know what I mean? And so I guess started crawling, and I crawled through the field about. They said they found me 10 feet from the car, and I probably crawled 60, 70 yards with just this hand. And I packed this full of mud, which they say saved it from bleeding out. So
Wow. Do you remember packing it with
No,
your
no.
mom?
It's when
That
I
was
was
unintentional.
when I was crawling. This was
So
packing.
if you hadn't gone dragging
Yeah.
for her, you wouldn't have
Oh
accidentally
no!
packed
Yeah.
it
I
with
would have
mine.
bled out. I would have bled out all the way. Because that's what they teach, like in the military and stuff. That's one of the first, like if you don't have anything else, you pack
You
the
can have a
blood in your
tourniquet,
wound,
yeah.
You
and
can
it
always fight
can
infection.
coagulate the blood a little bit, so
Wow.
it stops
But
it.
you can't fight, if you're bleeding out, there's nothing that can bring you back, but infection.
Now you're in the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know he's not there. Pick up the story from your perspective. So he's now crawling to come.
She remembers all
I
that.
Yeah.
woke up, I think I passed out from the airbag hitting me. So when I finally woke up, I could hear, I woke up to him yelling out for me, like, baby, baby, come out here.
Yeah.
And he was like farther away, and I could hear him getting closer. And I tried to get out myself, so I unbuckled my seatbelt, but I had fractured ribs and all of my vertebrae were fractured. So when I tried to move after I took my seatbelt off, I couldn't move. And then there was metal all where on the passenger side, his metal, from the car was all bent in.
Gone through the window with her face. So
I was like
she
kind of
busted all that open.
sideways.
So
Wow.
So I woke up to him.
Well, you look good. I mean, geez, this is not a way to get more pretty. But it looks fabulous. Yeah.
But so I just woke up and he was like, "Baby, come out here. I don't want to die by myself. Like, at least let's be together." And I was trying to hold it together so much. I'm like, "It's okay. Someone's gonna find us. Don't worry. We're not gonna die." While I'm thinking like, "I hope we don't die. Like, I definitely hope we don't die." But so then eventually the State Patrol, right? State Troopers.
Now, was there OnStar at some point? You got
OnStar. We were
OnStar
actually in
was
her car, my mother-in-law's car, and
You're welcome.
she has OnStar, and so it.
Thank God for OnStar.
Yeah.
And
Oh
it's
my
like an
God.
emergency, I think. Some
No,
kind of
because we didn't
emergency
have
thing.
we didn't cell phones. Who knows where they were? Because
Yeah.
she flipped 6 times, so
Yeah.
they're all over. It's stuff all over the field.
So I guess when your airbag deploys, they will call you,
And they could hear
me and him talking.
screaming, and so then they could hear her kind of talking back, so they could tell who we were, I guess, and so then they called.
Well, they called since it was registered to my mother-in-law. They called her at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning.
calling at 3:45.
So she was asleep, but she missed multiple calls from the Fort Bend sheriff.
Yeah.
But then they got me and
Yeah.
She finally kind of looked at it and was like, "Oh my God," and answered it,
Yes.
talked to them, and they, were like, "Are you Vanessa and Patrick?" And she's like, "Those are my kids, what's going on?" So she actually came up onto the scene because it was only like less than 5 miles from her house, and she actually saw Patrick being life-lighted
Yeah, it took
from
them
the
an
field.
hour and a half to find us, because
Wow.
it's like cotton fields and
That's-
cornfields, you
that's
know what I mean? So
crazy.
it's just,
And just the car
Oh, yeah.
was, the bottom of it was facing the road, so nothing.
so
When
they
the
couldn't
state
see the
trooper,
light. They could only, it was a black car.
and it was
so
way
all they
off
could
in the
see,
field.
you couldn't see anything unless they,
And
they
he
just
so he
drove up
finally
and
spotlighted the field after a while, and he said that just something, was not right about this one area of the field. And so when he got closer, he realized that it was a car. So then he
Wow.
called.
Just so many
ambulance, yeah.
miracles.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yes.
just serendipity.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
who knows what happened to me? I mean, I got ejected.
Yeah.
Who knows how I landed? Who knows how any of that happened? You know what I mean?
Wow.
It's somehow I landed right and broke my neck and didn't paralyze myself. You know what I mean? Somehow.
So let me tell you why you're here. There's someone else that wanted to meet you. That she'll be here hopefully soon. But like I said, some celebrities sometimes run a little bit late and stuff like that. You may recognize her voice when she comes in here. But we got the idea. I mean, Father's Day was coming up, and what I did was I picked up the phone and I called a guy named Monty, who's in charge of all of our media and stuff. And I said to him, I said, Monty, I want to do something great. I mean, fathers, and not just people who physically have kids, because sometimes the person that you want to honor on Father's Day isn't your father. Maybe it's your mom, or maybe it's your uncle, or maybe it's your best friend, or
Yeah.
it's somebody who looked out for you, somebody who kept their commitments and promises and stuff like that. I said, I want to do something special for this. I want to run a contest, and I want people to write in and come up with something. And anyway, Monty, being really good in coming up with advertising concepts and stuff, he said, well, in fact, I should correct myself. He was the one who came up with a writing contest. He was the one who said, hey, Fred, you want to do something special Father's Day? I've got this idea. How about we have people write in 100 words or less, who is the apple of their eye? Now, what's interesting is when he said apple of your eye, I'm 52. That's kind of an old school kind of saying. And I said, well, I don't know about the apple of the eye. I mean, that's kind of a little corny. Maybe we can frame it another way. But the part that's missing from this is I had started the conversation by talking to Monty and saying to him, hey, I've got a special gift that I want to give. And that's where we came up with the idea for the apple of the eye. Anyway, I want to read you what your wife wrote in. She only had 100 words.
It's pretty rough.
But this is what so you said it better, more eloquently, but this is what she wrote. Let's see here.
Already tearing up. Already tearing up.
All right, here we go. This is your wife's words. She wrote. Remember, she only has 100 words. Okay. In 2015, my husband and I were in a catastrophic car accident, rolling 6 times. He was ejected on the first roll and subsequently crawled over 50 yards with a broken neck and severed arm to get to our SUV to see if I was okay. If it hadn't been for OnStar notifying 911, he would have died less than 10 feet away from him. He is the best dad, soulmate, and apple of my eye, because I don't know any other man who would crawl with a broken neck and 1 arm just to be with his wife. We got hundreds of responses in, and we chose yours. And the reason we call this the Apple of the Eye contest is there's this thing right now that everybody wants really, really bad, called an Apple Watch. It's very difficult to get this watch, okay? People are on backlist for this stuff. Anyway, I'll let your wife give it to you. And you now have an Apple Watch. Can you, with your hands, can you open it and take a look at it?
You could put
Or your wife can help you?
the wrapper, yeah.
No.
And I can tell you, yeah,
That's
it's
my
cool.
favorite
It has
color.
replaceable straps.
cool,
It's just kind of like the
right?
one on my wrist here. And you can hit it, you can change different faces on it. It's real cool. Like if you want to be in a fun mood, you can just click it over to Mickey. You can have Mickey Mouse on there.
That's awesome.
But you know, your phone, you'll always be connected
cool.
and to the people that you love and stuff like that.
Awesome.
And so, yeah, that's a very difficult thing. Now, when you get home, you'll have to sync it with your watch, with your phone and all of that kind of stuff, and you'll be good to go. But anyway, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Here's the winner.
Hi.
Yeah?
How are you? Sarah, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Vanessa.
We got an extra chair, Sarah. Have a
Oh,
seat
yeah.
next to him.
Hi. Okay. you
And,
go. We got a little one too.
Yep.
I know you just told me, but Sarah wasn't here. If you could just tell me briefly what you told me about what happened and what you
Yeah.
went through.
We
He just got the watch on now. He's all
I know,
excited.
that's awesome.
Go ahead.
we went out one night and it was like mom and dad's night out, so we had them watch the kids. So we went out dancing with our friends, and I went to watch the drinks, so I let her drive. And she never drives, so I gotta drive us everywhere. So
Right.
She's not the best driver.
I understand.
Yeah. And we live out in the country, so it's like 6-foot ditches on either side of the road.
Right.
And she was coming down the road and she hit a bridge, and on the other side of the bridge there's a dip. She hit the dip and started going this way, and then lost control and overcorrected to the
Spun out.
and went all the way to the right and hit the ditch, and then we headed back and we ramped and flew like 78, hit again, and she flew 60 through the moonroof
Yeah.
with my elbow. Then I woke up in the field and I could tell that I was pretty jacked up, because I couldn't
Right.
move my arm and I couldn't lift my head and all this. So I I could kind of see, and I could see the car like the light from my angle, so I just started screaming for her because I didn't know if she got ejected or not. I didn't know where she was. So then I just crawled. I started crawling, and I crawled with this arm to all the, like it's 10 feet from the car is where they found me. And I think like when I heard, because she couldn't talk loud, like, she couldn't scream or anything, she would look ripped. So I think that subconsciously when I was crawling, I think that when I heard her voice, I think I just gave up. Like I think at that point it was just like done.
Now you had a broken neck, right?
Yeah, broken
neck, broken back,
back.
and it turned out that he was bleeding so profusely, but because he started crawling and dragging himself 50, 60 yards to get to her, his arm it actually tapped the dirt. That's what stopped the bleeding, so he didn't bleed out. If he hadn't crawled to save his wife, he would have bled out and died.
Sounds crazy.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. But
Unreal.
yeah, but anyway, I told him we got hundreds of
A
responses.
lot, yes.
Hundreds of responses, and we just wanted to honor you and stuff. And
See, I don't even think what I did was like that awesome. Everyone was like, dude, are you crazy? You know, like, it's just like you know, when you feel that much for someone, and you feel like you're gonna die. It's like,
You do anything for
oh
them?
yeah, even when that.
yeah, absolutely.